Hello listeners, I'm Aashay Choksey, Vice President and Sector Head for Banking at ICRA Limited. And through this podcast, I'll be sharing our views on the record bond issuances by banks this year. The widening gap between credit and deposit growth has driven up the credit to deposit ratio to 74.8% as on December 16, 2022, from lows of 69.6% witnessed during the pandemic. Moreover, the gap between incremental credit and deposits after factoring for CRR SLR requirements was meaningfully high at 5.7 trillion rupees for 9-month FY23. Banks have met this gap by drawdown of excess on-balance sheet liquidity, availing of long-term refinancing from all India financial institutions, and bond issuances in debt capital market. As a result, gross bond issuances by banks surged to 0.9 trillion rupees in 9-month FY23, surpassing the previous high of 0.8 trillion rupees in financial year 2017. As liquidity conditions are likely to remain tight in the near future, we expect the overall gross bond issuances by banks to rise further to rupees 1.3 to 1.4 trillion in financial year 23. Within bonds issued by banks, Tier 2 issuances reached an all-time high of rupees 472 billion in 9-month FY23, led primarily by large private sector banks. Infrastructure bonds, on the other hand, amounting to rupees 196 billion, were issued by both private and public sector banks, although we expect overall issuances to cross the previous high of rupees 272 billion in the current financial year. Also, public sector banks have dominated Tier 1 bond issuances, which stood at rupees 247 billion in 9-month FY23. While in the past, PSU banks have relied more on Tier 1 bonds to meet the rising regulatory requirements, the recent Tier 1 bond issuances of public sector banks have been driven by stronger credit growth. Private sector banks with strong core capital positions have pivoted towards Tier 2 and infrastructure bonds issuances amidst tight liquidity to enhance their lendable resources. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for our upcoming podcasts.